Welcome to Podcast Awesome, where we chat about icons, design, tech, business, and nerdery with members of the Font Awesome team, and occasionally the non-awesome verse friend of ours. And this is a two-part series with Dan Cederholm. He's a type designer, author, Simple Bits mastermind, and possibly the nicest person to ever throw an extra B into a font name just because the domain wasn't available. In this episode, we get into the messy magic of naming things, what imposter syndrome really feels like, why specificity and design can be more universal than broad strokes, and how building with Lego might actually make you a better creative director. Also, puppets and orange peelers and a very cursed dev tool acronym. Let's get into our conversation. Episode number 2 with Dan Cederholm.
Do you have a backlog of ideas of typefaces you want to create? Like, are you constantly curating different, you see a little snippet of something somewhere and
what's funny is that you'd think yes, but I really don't. Most of the time I don't. Most of the time I have one I'm working on, and then I do have the idea for the next one kind of in the back and ready to go. That's the way it's been so far. And again, I think it's that constraint thing. It's like if I think too much ahead, I'm going to get overwhelmed and be like, I've got all this, I got to get through this to do this. And so I've kind of been like one behind essentially, which has actually been convenient because I've never been like, all right, now I don't have any ideas. There's always been at least one behind it where I'm like, okay, that's going to be the next one.
Any that you've kicked to the curb? Like any you've started and be like, nah.
Not yet. You know what? This is funny too, because I feel like I'm selectively lazy about things. So in other words, like I'm I don't want to do extra work that isn't part of the thing that's being created. And so I try to be so efficient that I don't get too far. If something like doesn't feel right, I don't get too far with it before I guess I do throw things away, but it's very, very early in the thought. I think there's been a few where like I start to sketch it and be like, okay, yeah, I think I want to do an alphabet based on this or this kind of vibe, and then I start sketching or thinking about it, or maybe even getting into vector a little bit, and then like I can't see myself. This is going to be a real challenge that's going to take up all my time. So I'll probably toss that one aside and then start something new. But most of the if I get a few letters in, I'm going to definitely finish it. And then it might change because it's so malleable until it's done, and it's never done actually. So you basically just have to be like, all right, this is enough. It's sort of like a sculpture, I guess. But if I get a few letters in, I'm definitely gonna finish it. Because now that's kind of like the cycle of typeface and merch around it and stuff is sort of, that's my job now. So I guess I take that seriously, in that any time I'm putting into creating letters, I want to make sure that is eventually a finished product of some kind. Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, I love them all. You just released what's the new one? Turbo?
Thank you.
Turbo.
Yeah, Turbo. Yeah, Turbo. Yeah. It's like I realized like naming fonts is really difficult because there's so many fonts that are already named. Like any word you can think of is a font already. Now, it might not be a popular font, but it still creates some challenges, and there's a couple tools you can use to sort of search databases and find out what. So I got sick of like typing in a word. Of course that's taken, like it's like worse than domain names, honestly. And so I started, if I just misspell the word, then it's its own thing. It's its own brand. And
you've been doing that forever. You've thrown extra B's into things.
Exactly. It's like from the going way back. Add a B. Like the domain's not available. All right, we'll add a B, and now it's their own brand, and it doesn't matter. Like once it becomes known, I suppose it doesn't matter what the word is. But But yeah, Turbo. I didn't even search Turbo. I just assumed it was already a font. So I'm like, now it's become part of the marketing, right? Like it's these misspelled words. Like I'm working on the next one, so because it's the only other one I have going, right? And it's like a stressed sans calligraphy style, kind of like all caps, like something you'd see on a book cover, like a cloth bound book cover in the 60s or something, right? And so I'm like, cloth bound, that's a great name for a font. And of course I was like, it's going to be taken, and I'll just misspell it. It'll be cool, like KLOF. And then I look it up, and there's not a cloth bound. So now I'm like, I'm at a crossroads. Like, do I use the real word, or do I misspell it intentionally to keep a tradition going? But yeah, naming things is hard, and naming things, and I realize this, programming, branding, anything, like naming things is like really important. And then
there are so many so many little tools that like devs have built that have horrible names, and they're just now they are totally commonplace, and you're just like, what?
Those are the worst. The dev tool names. I used to make fun of when I actually worked with people a long time ago, the Dribble development team. I would always joke around about, like, I would say in like Slack, I'd be like, you guys, did you install Kangaroo Shoes V6? Because they would they would toss around these crazy names, like it's a serious thing, like, Kangaroo Shoes, that like does like authentication for like credit card decrypting or something like that, and it's just hilarious, these names. So maybe I said that it's important naming is important, but then maybe it's the opposite, actually. I mean, what's really important is the thing it does, and people get used to the name, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
go either way.
I think that I think that's true for branding too, for logos, for if you if it's good enough and it sticks around long enough, it'll get stuck in people's craw.
And then there's missed opportunities, Jory. Like we could have, I mean, it's low-hanging fruit, man.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, we could have named the icon wizard Farts, the original name, but the ship has sailed. What can we do?
Wait, why was that an acronym?
Reusable, Font Awesome reusable tidbits. It's like
tidbits and shapes. Yeah,
tidbits and shapes.
Font Awesome reusable tidbits and shapes.
All right, now it's out, so people are going to refer to it as that anyway. I mean, I know I will.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too late, Matt. I guess. Lean it. I do own the domain name Fart Awesome. So
do you really?
Yeah.
We could do something with this.
Yeah.
You guys are having too much fun over there. This is awesome. I mean, like you said earlier, the mandate there is don't work too much. What was the quote?
He says, spend the right amount of time not doing your job.
There you go. Yeah, which I absolutely love that. That should be a banner in every office.
It's you can see probably behind both Matt and I, we have these little I made these as little gifts for the team. Our custom our very own logo Legos.
Oh my god,
Font Awesome and Web Awesome.
Amazing. Yes,
like built a little.
You built it, and it's like a stand built into it. Oh my god! The instructions. So it came as pieces, and then people. Oh my god!
I had to source all the pieces and then spread them out and send. Do all the organization and whatever. But it was fun. We got them. They're good little.
Why not?
Did you have to print instructions for that, Jory? Or
there's a program called Studio through Bricklink, and Bricklink I think is owned by Lego, but it is Studio, this Lego Studio app that
I'm writing this down,
allows you to design with Lego. It is a 3D app, has a library of all the Lego pieces. God, you drag them in, they click together, and then there's a little feature where you can basically put together the steps of how to build it. And it then has another program built in, which looks exactly like a Lego instruction booklet.
No.
And you meet a step one, and it automatically shows you the little pieces that are in that step, and you build it all together, and then I just printed it as, made it a PDF that I shared with people. It's really cool.
Amazing. And does it allow you to order all those pieces that you need in like a bundle?
So Bricklink, the website is basically I'm massively simplifying it, but right now one of the key pieces of it is it's like an online marketplace for secondhand or stores that sell Lego by the piece.
Yep.
And so you will, like, for these logos that I built, I knew that I needed, I think I made 28 of them total so that I could send separate ones out. And so it uploads to Bricklink and it shows you how many pieces you have. And then it will do this like collation where it searches all the stores that are in their system and be like, okay, you can get 40 of the parts from this one store, 20 from this store. And then, it'll be multiple packages. But if you're doing like one set, sometimes a single store will have everything and it'll ship you the parts.
That's incredible.
That's amazing, man.
Honestly, I'm going to look into this because that's so cool. And the fact that it does the instructions like Lego style, I mean,
it's fun.
That's nuts.
It's fun. My problem now is like if we ever have other products, I'm going to have to figure out how to. I'm like designing I have to design now when we design new logos. I joke that like I used to think of the fax test, like a logo. If you could fax a logo and it retained its legibility, like it was good.
Yep.
I was like, okay, can I make it with Lego? Like,
Can I make it with Lego and it's like not super expensive or technically difficult, right?
Yeah.
That's a good test.
And I think that's where it helps, where the logos for Font Awesome and Web Awesome are built on our icon grid. So like they are very pixely grid, they're not super complex.
It's perfect. It's perfect for Lego.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel, on the other hand, that'd be difficult.
Well, I don't think the new one would probably be.
The new one would be a lot easier. That's why they want to do
that. The one final thing I want to talk about, because I mean, I think you mentioned imposter syndrome earlier, which is I think is one of those things that is super interesting to me because I totally suffer from it as well. And I think a lot of people do. And I think the cure to it in some ways is also hearing people that you admire admit to having it, but then also being like, isn't it also really just like most people are just making stuff up as we go along. Like nobody knows everything. Everybody, but we think that everybody, like, we're like, oh, that person has it figured out. I'm like, no, you're making it up. Like I have two kids. Like the second one was completely different than the first. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. Everything I've been designing, I don't know what I'm doing when I design icons. I don't know.
See, that helps me, right? Because I consider you like the icon. Like I said before, like I have one icon set. It's from you. It's the icon set. That's crazy to hear, right? But you're right. Like hearing that is helpful, I think.
Yeah, I know more than I did, and there's certain things that like I'm like, okay, I'm kind of confident in that, or I feel more at ease talking about certain subjects than I used to because like I've done it. I put in the how many hours, but I don't know. It's just one of those interesting things where, like, if we could get rid of imposter syndrome, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. It pushes you a little bit.
I think there is some good to it, because of that, it pushes you and it doesn't let you get complacent or I think it pushes you creatively, right? But it does suck. I mean, I feel like you're right. Nobody knows what they're doing. I wish I had discovered that earlier in life. Because everything when I was younger seemed so scary and mysterious, and it's like one of those things where I if I'd known like you could do graphic design when I was like a kid in the 80s, like I feel like there would have been a different life path because I was always interested in it, but I never thought I could do it. Or I didn't even know how it appeared. It was like I just love these skateboard decks and like logos but so the earlier you figure that out, that like, oh wait, no, people don't know what they're doing, or like public speaking. Like that was a terrifying thing for me, and then something I never wanted to do ever. And then I, got asked to speak somewhere, and I'm like, oh, I have to do it. And then it was terrifying and it sucked. But then you realize that nobody knows how to do that. Like you just do it. And then those people, the only difference between you on the stage and someone watching is just that you're up there doing it. And you're right. And hearing that from people is really helpful. I think there are people that are successful. It doesn't matter what industry it is, but they're successful and they don't have, I think the people that don't have imposter syndrome are just people that, well, they might be just like jerks, but like, right. Like some, there's like a group of people that, and you can split them up into sections. And one of them is like, they're just like narcissists or something. And they literally just don't think they do anything wrong or whatever. But then there's people that never talk about it, but feel the same way that we do or whatever. And then there's people that are just comfortable. I think that's my thing is like, I wish I was more comfortable doing the things that I feel like I do well, apparently, but I still feel like I'm not qualified. And maybe that's that uncomfortableness is what I don't like about it. Because reminding myself that nobody knows what they're doing, that it's so true and it's helpful. And then, but at the same time, it's like, I wish I just knew that, and it stayed like that. It stuck with me. And I was comfortable with the fact that I'm not qualified, but yet I'm doing it and I love it. And I don't care if you like it or not or whatever, but there's that part of it.
I mean, you are qualified. Like that's, I think that's, I don't. There are moments I feel like it comes in ebbs and flows, and every now and then you're like, oh, you step back, you're like, I don't know how to do this. I feel weird. Everybody's looking at me, blah, blah, blah. But
yes, it ebbs and flows.
We're always our worst critics too,
Yeah.
So the thing where either of you could say like, I didn't know what I was doing with this, or I'm not sure about this icon set or whatever, and somebody else is like, oh, that's my favorite one. That's amazing. Like exactly. How could you say that? Like that.
Totally.
Well,
totally.
So what's funny is this is
true across the board.
Totally.
Yeah. I said I had one more thing I want to talk about, and I went to this up. This was not what I wanted to talk about, but the lead into it was that Dan, you have had a measurable impact on a lot of people's lives, and you do have this body of work, and you've, like I said, written these books that people reference and are like, oh, this has taught me how to do X, Y, Z. But I wanted to say that you, for me, you've also had a smaller impact on finally getting me to live a dream of mine, which is, I don't know if in the video you can see in the back corner there, I've got you probably can't, I'll pull it over. Please.
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. We now have a puppet, and the only reason we have a puppet at Font Awesome is because you made a puppet of yourself. And I was like, oh, that's possible? You can make a puppet? You can get a puppet made?
Oh, it's possible. All right. Sorry, that was terrible.
No, that was perfect.
But that's isn't that it's a possum, right? It's Font Possum.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
That's wonderful. Actually seeing it, I know I saw a clip of it before oh my God, the tail. Unbelievable. I don't think I saw the tail before. Holy crap. That's incredible. Puppets are he's perfect. Oh my God. And the shirt. Yeah. What is it about
that possum's gonna ruin your workspace, man.
Yeah.
And eat your trash. Yeah.
He can play dead too.
Have you done meetings with him where he's you and you? That's the fun part.
Yeah, we've done one. I think we've done one. He made a cameo in one of our announcement videos for Font Awesome 7.
Yes,
a little while ago.
So I think that was amazing.
And I think the best part is that you debuted the possum, but nobody knew that you were going to do it, and it was like awkward, like nobody knew.
Dave
what
was like, "What's happening?"
Nobody else in the company knew that you were. Oh my god, that's great. Yeah. Oh, you see, you've got it down. You're like a natural. You're a natural.
It's a lifelong dream.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I think that's what it is. It's like this childhood. I didn't realize how important like the Muppets were to me growing up until later in life, and like, and Sesame Street and Muppets and all that, and so it was a dream of mine too. Like I just like I love it, and I don't know if you've discovered this. I'm sure you have actually. If doing any puppetry with video, right, it is an extremely physical, grueling thing to, or at least when I like trying to like the sets, the Muppet sets where everything's above them, and and then trying to look at a monitor and talk, and it's really not easy to do, like when you're trying to hide yourself and do it for real. My hat's off to all the puppeteers, man.
Well, my hope is that we are I don't know if this is too much, if we're revealing too much, but we are gearing up to film another video at some point for Font Awesome.
Yes, good.
Or one of our products, and
the possum's
I'm really hoping that we are going to get the possum into it, at least as a little cameo, a little bit.
You have to.
So
you have to, and you've got to get the tail involved in this one. Major.
Yeah.
I just love the tail. They're so realistic, right? It's like perfect detail. Yeah, I mean puppets, man.
A little.
Yes, it's incredible.
They got a little. There's a little.
It's so
wire in here too.
It bends. Oh my god, it's so endearingly gross. Like it's just.
Yeah, totally. Like, ew, I don't want to touch that. Ew,
right. Exactly. Puppets make everything fun, though. It's one of those things, like trying to make people's day a little brighter.
So Dan, I got to say, I have really come to enjoy your newsletter, and I think it's actually sort of inspired us too to kind of ramp up our own newsletters. We're always a little bit anxious about like over communicating to customers, and which means we should probably communicate to a level that feels slightly uncomfortable for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Be the right balance.
Yeah,
but that's usually the case. I really do look forward to seeing your newsletter, and we have this internal thing. Awesome. It's in the background of what we've been talking about the whole time. Is we've sort of like trademarked this idea of like a nerd show and tell. We put it on the podcast. We've done it, where it goes right along with what Dave was saying about. Jory was recalling what Dave would say, like, you should, allocate a certain amount of time to not doing your job, in that the interests that you have, it's not really a tangible thing. You can put it on a number, put a number to it, but enjoying yourself, being curious about the world, exploring things, figuring things out, there's no way that it can't fuel the work that you do and sort of help to create a nice vibe with your coworkers and things. And so
totally.
All that to say is that your newsletter, a lot of what you put out there are just things that you're interested in. And I always find myself like, that's really cool. And I go down my own rabbit hole of like, well, what's Dan into right now? Like, oh, that is so interesting. Like I wouldn't have found that on my own.
No, that's cool.
Is there anything from your newsletter, either in recent months or just historically speaking, where there's something that you've come upon, or a new creative endeavor, or you're interested in another creator, something that is still sort of piquing your interest and sort of fueling you, beyond the newsletter?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for that. It's awesome feedback. I think it's, I like that the newsletter, again, talking about constraints, like just forcing me to do something each week where I'm communicating with the subscriber, the people that are interested in hearing from me, but I'm not selling them something every time, and so, and then I love discovering stuff like that and sharing. Like I think everybody should have a newsletter like that, and it kind of I miss the old days of blogging, right? Where it kind of was like that with RSS feeds, where you had this very tight knit community that shared kind of what their thoughts were, what they were interested in, and so the newsletter kind of helps with that, and it's also getting replies is really fun. I think people are less, you're not posting something publicly, you're just literally talking to the person that posted it, and I am really enjoying it. So I'm glad, I'm happy to hear that it's resonating, and thank you for that.
For sure.
And but like in terms of things that stood out, like honestly, all of these things that I'm sharing, and I'm glad to hear that at least some of them are interesting, because sometimes I'm like, I have all these interests are all over the place, and I don't know, like I'm sure not all of them land, but I know some of them will, and I don't know if there's one thing. I'm trying to think if there's like the one that like really got me going on something. I know that there is actually, and I'm just trying to think of which thing that is. And it's probably something really weird, like I mean, honestly, like one of the first of this format, and it's almost been a year. I'm almost coming up on a year now of doing this each week. But like, I think one of the first things I linked to was this orange peeler that my partner Melissa had since she was a kid, and it's made by Tupperware, and they don't make them anymore, but you can find them online. I ordered like some from Amazon just because I wanted to have more of them, but like it's this weird design of an orange peeler, and it's like it's hard to describe in just words, but the amount of feedback I had on that was kind of incredible, and it really helped, because that was at the beginning of this format this new format, Studio Notes format that I was using, and so it really helped me like say, oh, this is cool, like I thought this was going to be ridiculous because I'm sharing this Tupperware plastic orange peeler and how it's like important to me, like, and this is going to probably bomb and fail, whatever. But it's true. Like, I'm trying to be genuine. And like, this thing is amazing. And it's like changed the way I eat oranges. And then, come to find out, people were interested in it. And they were like, this is awesome. And this is what I use. And, this one, I have one like that, but it also has this thing on the back that. So anyway, it started this conversation about orange peelers. And it's like, I think that's so fun. And it doesn't have to be about, to bring it back to sort of businessy, because it's from Simple Bits. So it's related to design, or I'm kind of trying to share things that I think are well designed, or help in creative process or whatever, but it doesn't have to be so on the nose. It can be just something that if you're genuinely interested in it and want to share your opinion of it, that I think that's really interesting. That's what's interesting, and that's what I would want to hear from you guys, like if in your newsletters, and that recommendation kind of vibe is so
that makes
fun.
That makes me think of the I'm gonna get it wrong, but there was a quote I heard relatively recently by Phil Rosenthal. Somebody feed Phil.
I love Phil. He's amazing.
And he was talking, I think he was talking about Everybody Loves Raymond and writing some of the episodes for that or things, but he was talking about specificity and how sometimes the more specific you get when either relaying a story or in your case, like, sharing this weird little specific orange peeler that like is just this one little thing, tends to be more universal than sharing something bigger, than like talking about kitchen gadgets in general. What's your favorite kitchen gadget? Like that,
right. Yes.
But you're talking about the specific thing that has resonance. And whether that orange peeler people have, or they have their own orange peeler, they have something in their kitchen that is specific to them, or they have a unique little thing. And so they can relate to the specificity of it versus, and I try to remember that with like, even just thinking about some of the stuff that I've posted online that has been the most quote unquote successful or has had the most reach has been like, one of the things was like, I just showed people how I designed a sheep icon, and I went into the weeds on designing this sheep icon. It was this super small thing. And it's like, and I think it is so much more interesting than here's how I design an icon. It's like, no, that's a little too big. Like, let's talk about this little small little thing that, sparks.
I love it. That's why people resonate with it, I think. If it's too broad, it's everyone's talking about kitchen gadgets, right? But no one's talking about orange peelers specifically, right? Or I think that's why it resonates. I love that. And Phil, I think I mentioned him in the newsletter at some point, because I discovered him not sort of recently. And what a great human being too. Like, he just like exudes like this joy, and it's infectious, like his love of food and people. It's really about people, I think, right? Kind of like Bourdain's show was about people too, really. Even though food is the thing, but like, and hopefully maybe that's maybe there's specificity there too, right? Where it's a show about him finding food in a very specific place, a city that he likes, but really it's about people and like humanity, not to get deep about Phil's cooking or Phil's food show, but like it really is. I feel like that's why it's great, right? And a newsletter about puppets would be cool, right? Or not just puppets, but like like if you started a newsletter about the Font Possum, a day in the life of Font Possum or something,
Jory,
that would be cool, right?
Because this is gold. It's gold,
right? Like that would be cool. Like I want to hear from Font Possum. Like, what is he doing? I don't know. Like, and somehow it's like it would be more interesting.
Right now.
Yeah, right. Like, like instead of here's a new product we release. Well, you got to do product release stuff, but like I'm trying to think of like something you need to announce, but you're not excited about announcing it. But like, Font Possum could talk about, I don't know. Yeah, now I'm getting into the weeds. But
what did the possum find in the trash this week, Jory?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some
right.
new treasure in the trash.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The funny thing is, we actually have
brilliant. That could be a video.
We have an orange squeezer, a citrus squeezer that we now, like, it's a gift we give to everybody that we found on Amazon.
Really?
That is very specific. The mechanism for it, it's really easy to use, and like gets all the freaking juice out of those lemons, those oranges. So
fucking brilliant, man. This is the thing. I love that. No one's advertising citrus squeezers on social media, or whatever. Well, actually, probably someone is, but actually, that's a little sad, isn't it?
Someone listening to this is like, "How dare you?"
It's like, "How dare?" Exactly right. Squeezio is like, "Damn it!"
Yeah.
But
my entire brand, squeezing citrus.
I don't even know where I was going with this. Actually, I think we're onto something with the specificity is good for creative things, and it goes along with what we were talking about with constraints. It's it's this very similar thing, right? Like, put those guardrails on, and you wouldn't think that it would be successful, right? But it is. But it can be, and it sounds like Phil's saying the same thing. That's awesome. I really feel like we solved some stuff here.
We did.
We solved some stuff, man. I didn't expect we'd go in this direction, but I love it. And it goes, it really goes along with what I hear Dave say a lot of the time. Is it comes up again and again on the podcast where he's like, he says, we know icons aren't going to change the world. Like he sort of bumped into this opportunity because he was trying to solve a problem for himself. He was working somewhere, he's having a problem with icons. He created an icon set. It picked up steam. He figured out a way to monetize it. Like it truly, the story of Font Awesome sounds like a happy mistake. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But
yes.
The whole idea behind the company now is like, we just want to work with good people and have a good time and have some freedom to be creative. And it doesn't necessarily matter what we're doing. You know, he'll say we could have made some kind of widget or whatever, but if we can create an environment where we're having a good time and there's that human element to it, not only do we benefit, but it's sort of, I think about your newsletter, like you're talking about stuff that just happens to interest you.
Yeah.
But you're building a community as you go and you're having a good time, and it all just kind of works out. How do you measure it? I don't know. But like it works. And it, you know, when we have a mindset of having a good time and sharing knowledge and the things that we enjoy, you're creating community, and then it fuels you to create more stuff. You know, it all just kind of, it all sort of works together, you know?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, especially for a team, right? Building things together, like being happy and motivated and being genuinely wanting to be around each other is like, that's what it's all about, really. I mean, when it comes down to it, right? Like your life is right now. So like, you got to make it enjoyable.
For sure.
I think the older I get, I realize that for sure. Sometimes I do worry about, maybe it's getting older. It's like, okay, I'm making things, and but what is that really doing? Is that helping the world, or in a sort of like a existential like way? And but yeah, I don't want to end on a downer here, but
no, listen, I firmly believe that putting creativity out into the world is a net win for everyone. Like you're creating stuff, and it may not change the world, but there are ripple effects. You know, you making typefaces has allowed, you know, you did a newsletter because of that. That newsletter told somebody about this orange peeler, and they go on to, like, you know, make the next big juice trend that, you know, I don't know.
That saves someone's life or something. I get what you mean. Like a butterfly effect. That's a great way to think about it. Thank you.
So flap those wings, baby.
This is like turning a nice therapy session for me too.
Well, and it's this circular thing. It all feeds on itself. You know, it's like if I'm looking for a font, I'm like, oh, I need to go see what Dan's up to, because you know, I trust your point of view and your taste, and you always have interesting things to say and things that kind of bring me joy. Like, you know, an example would be in your newsletter. A few weeks ago, you highlighted a guy that goes out and cleans up public spaces so that he can skate them.
Yeah, that was
fun. And like, you know, back in the day, I was a skateboarder. I'm still interested in skateboarding culture.
Nice.
And I'll probably break a hip if I try and go out to any of those spots. But I love seeing this young guy get a weed whacker, go out into the country where there's like some public utility place or whatever that's overgrown. And I mean, it just brought me joy, you know?
Yeah.
And
so satisfying,
I remember that. I'm like, oh yeah, from Dan's newsletter. That was so cool. And I keep paying attention to your newsletter because I know that you're going to deliver great stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, if I'm looking for an interesting font, oh, I need to go check out Dan's site and see what he's up to. You know what I mean? It's all just, it all just sort of feeds into each other.
That's awesome to hear. Thank you, Matt. I think that curation, you said taste, right? Which is something you can't, maybe taste. AI can't have taste. Hopefully right now it can anyway. And so maybe that's curation, not to go down this rabbit hole, but like curation and taste is something that's unique to everyone. That's something that should be at the forefront, even if it's quote unquote a business or whatever, right? I feel like like I want to get people's opinions about stuff and what they recommend, and that's cool. I'm so glad to hear that being myself is working.
100%, man.
Right? Like, I'll keep doing
working,
it,
Dan.
Okay,
and it's an encouragement to us too. Like we love having folks on the podcast that are like-minded, and I this is the first time meeting you, but just watching what you create and what you put out in the world, I'm like, I think, and Jory can vouch, and so Dan's going to be a great guest for the podcast. We just kind of knew.
I said no such thing.
That's awesome.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Yes, you did. You did, Jory.
But yeah, Dan, I could chat with you guys all day. Honestly, like it's awesome, and what you guys are doing there, and meeting the team, I can tell like you're doing all the right things for the right reasons. Like you're that's really refreshing, honestly, and just like happy to be here with you.
As we wrap up, can you tell folks how can they get information about what you do, the things that you put out in the world? Where should they go?
Yeah, thanks. They should go to simplebits.com. That's kind of like the hub for everything that I'm doing, and you can sign up for the newsletter there. You can check out the typefaces and the stupid goods that I have, and all that stuff. Simplebits.com, and then Simplebits is my handle on most platforms out there, I guess. But the best way is the newsletter, honestly. Like, not to pump it again there, but thank you for the plug. But that's the best way to just, because that's where I'm consistently sharing things in a very organized way. So it's probably the easiest way for people to learn. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Dan Cederholm of Simple Bits, for coming on Podcast Awesome today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, guys. Pleasure. Yeah. It's been awesome.
Thanks, Dan.
And that's a wrap of our part 2 conversation with Dan Cederholm. And we're still thinking about font naming, Muppets, and that brilliant line about spending the right amount of time not doing your job. If you're wanting more of Dan's magic in your life, you can check him out at simplebits.com to check out his fonts, all of his really cool merchandise, and his weekly newsletter. One of the few emails that here at Font Awesome we open on purpose because it's just that delightful. And hey, if this episode sparked something in you and your creative brain, maybe you want to pass it on to a friend or coworker. And Podcast Awesome, per usual, is produced and edited by this guy right here, Matt Johnson. The Podcast Awesome theme song was composed by Ronnie Martin. The music interstitials were done by Zach Malm, and the video editing, I get a little help with these video episodes from Isaac Chase. Until next time, go make something awesome.